Looks like we have a pretty short agenda tonight.
All right, we're live.
On Monday night. Maybe we can get a band, huh?
Right.
Live on Monday night. I'll wait a little bit for, we got about a couple minutes.
Hey, Max, while we have a minute, and Jeff, there's a blue house on 12th Street that needs the porch pillars painted. I just wanted to report that. Maybe we'd get that guy to take care of it.
I think that's 11th Street, Roger. I'll put
Well,
a call. I'll see what I can do. I think she's going to redo the whole porch, so I think that's springtime plans.
I think he said purple with big pink and blue flowers on those.
I like it. Sounds good to me. Great. Now I'm on public record saying that something's got to be done, so it's got to get done now.
Yeah, he don't know politics.
Ginger paid him to say that.
Tom, I'm going to put you to work tonight. Can you do a Pledge of Allegiance for us? Tom,
Yes.
pledge, will you do the pledge for us tonight? Lead us in the pledge?
Are you talking to me, Cliff?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I will.
All right. Right. Is there another Tom up there? Let me see. Okay. Yep, there is. Thank you very much. We're waiting on Glenn, right?
Oh, still waiting.
We can get started. I got 6 o'clock. He didn't call in, so I assume he'll be coming in. This is our committee meeting on 22nd of February. In fact, it's my son's 41st birthday, so that's what I remember. 2021. And we're going to go ahead and open up the floor for the mayor to give any input or anything he'd like to share with us this evening.
As I always start every Monday, happy Monday. We made it through last week and now we're beginning a brand new week. A lot going on within the walls of City Hall and within our community. First off, want to say a special thank you to Public Works. Don't think that our ground has been covered with snow for this many days since, I don't know, 10 years ago, probably. So I know we had some hiccups. I know we're working on cleaning the bridge off. Downtown, we tried what we could do with the sidewalk issue. Want to say thank you to businesses and business owners downtown who cleared your sidewalks, and want to send a shout out to the owners of buildings downtown who are empty and want to remind them to clear their sidewalks even if there isn't any business going on within their property. We still have people walking downtown and would make it easier for people to get around. Did take calls. We had some new plow drivers. Just like in life, even within our organization, people get sick. Things happen. Equipment breaks down. We are not perfect. And just want to send a special thanks to the guys that worked. Want to reassure the public that even if we didn't have the manpower, we had people from other departments trying to help out. So just want to thank all the departments and snow removal. I know we can get better. Having that snow build up downtown and in between all down the lines of downtown and the crosswalks. I know it was just something that we weren't used to. We strive to do better. The parks, the paths at the parks are plowed. To my knowledge, they were, but things happen. people break down, equipment breaks down, and we try our hardest to keep the roads cleared so the kids can get to school and people can move about normally. So with anything, there's adversity, and you just sometimes have to smile and get through it. And we tried our best through those events. Want to let the public also know, salt is $70 a ton. And unfortunately, a lot of our snow events came in over the weekends or on holidays. So be mindful of the money that we actually do spend. Every ton of salt we dump is $70 on the roadways. So want to let everyone know we appreciate the feedback, good, bad, or ugly. We take it all here, and just want to let everyone know we tried our best. Spring is around the corner. So when the snow melts, guess what's underneath it? Trash. So just want to invite people to, anytime they see trash, we do have, I don't know if I want to call them litter angels. We have a lot of people who actually pick up litter around town. So if you see something, pick it up. If there's something in front of your house, I invite you to walk out, bend over, and pick that trash up. It will not hurt you, I promise. West Lafayette, I saw someone's comment on Facebook that West Lafayette will be without water for 2 weeks. I want everyone to know that everything you see on Facebook sometimes is not true. If you are affected, if you're an affected customer of West Lafayette, you will receive a door tag, a yellow door tag on your front door, and want you to know that your water is not going to be off for 2 weeks. So I just wanted to let everyone know that whether it concerns water or general knowledge, Facebook is not always true. You guys all knew that, right? Demo permits, we're going to amend those. So we have a time frame tonight. Taxi cabs, we're going to amend those to make it fair for rideshare organizations as well as our local cab providers. And then if anyone wants to talk tonight about merging the Planning Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals, I will take any questions about that at this time and want to get it on the agenda for a couple weeks. I think that process will streamline anything that's going on within our city time-wise, and we'll leave the final decision to council instead of to a judge if it ever went down to that. So I think it cleans everything up, streamlines the process, and basically puts any type of complaint or negativity, it basically puts it in the hands of city council. So if there are any questions at this time, I'll be glad to answer them for you.
Hey, Mark, since I was appointed to the Planning Commission at one point, in order to eliminate any future problems, do you need a letter of resignation, or can you just erase my name?
I think we can just take you off there, Tom.
Okay.
Bob, is that correct? If he wants to step down, I really think that's probably the best thing to do. That way you're not serving on one and then it comes down to a decision on the back end and then you have to decide that. I would say that's probably, I think you can serve both, but I think for as far as decision wise, just making it a clean process, I think that's probably the best thing to do. So definitely, Bob, do I need an official letter or can I just remove him off there?
I think he can just tell you verbally that he's resigning and you can go ahead and appoint somebody. You don't need anything in writing.
Okay, awesome. So that answers that question. Roger, I know you're full of questions, so go ahead.
I do have one on the cab and rideshare issues. I think it's a great idea to follow through on this, but who's going to be responsible for enforcing it to make sure they've all paid their fees and late fees, etc.?
It will be, it honestly comes down to the people on the streets that we trust with our law enforcement. It will be the sheriff's department will be in charge of the mandate and making sure that people are operating under licensure.
So we keep a running list on who actually has filed for a license or a permit to operate a taxi business in town.
Yes. Yep.
Has the sheriff's office been informed of that?
The sheriff's office has to inspect each cab before we issue a license. So they're aware of who's out there.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Is there a minimum amount of cabs that you're gonna license?
No minimum, no maximum. As long as if you're involved in that business, then you need to be licensed. So there's no minimum, no maximum.
Thank you.
With respect to this ordinance, the last council meeting, somebody brought up making the Amish transportation people exempt from this ordinance. I've not done that yet. So if that is the pleasure of council, we probably need to give it at least one reading and then give me a chance to amend that. I'm not sure. Well, I'll figure out how to make that wording if that's council's pleasure.
Pleasure, council, you wanna do that?
But to me, if they're transporting 8 to 10 people or whatever the case may be, I think that vehicle needs to be as safe as any type of taxi cab.
I'd agree.
Is council open for one reading tonight? Yay? Okay. Any other questions for the mayor?
Just one other one on the demo permit. Are we grandfathering those people who have already started to knock down houses or buildings, or is this take place to anyone ready process?
I would say any new future demo permits. That way, the old ones fall under the old rules, and then once this is passed and signed, as soon as this is signed, then we can start with the new rules. I have one more thing. Want to welcome Jeff Porter back to the building. He was back today, stumbling around, but he's actually walking. So I just want to welcome Jeff back, and no better time than when all the snow melts to see what's bad, and it'll be moving forward with cutting grass. So look forward to having Jeff back here. It's kind of nice having him back here today.
Thanks, Mayor.
If we don't have any other questions for the mayor, I'm gonna move to Mac.
I'll welcome Jeff back as well. He can field half my phone calls. So thanks for coming back, Jeff. The mayor kind of stole my thunder on snow removal. We did get hit with an inordinate amount along with the ice. I'm sure Sherry's seen today how much overtime we accumulated over that, which we're not kind of used to, but I did see some 50-hour overtime sheets over the last 2 weeks. So the guys did work a lot of time. Been working on putting several grant proposals together for the CDBG funding that we received through the county. Just a quick overview would be one for like tying in the sidewalk that the commissioners put in on 6th Street last year, tying that into Browns Lane, down to 2nd Street, and then to the entrance of Bueller's as kind of like a phase 1 to start getting some sidewalks up 2nd Street. New lighting on Main Street. I'm sure most of you can look at our light poles and see how they're degrading. And so we'll be turning that in. Storm drainage project in the North 10th Street area, which will help that intersection out there at Oak. I'm sure Mike's aware of that. That'd be around the Abood residence down there, Mike, where it always puddles. And looking at the sewer extension on 6th Street to pick up those. Well, like there's like 10 houses down through there that's still not on city sewer. So that's what kind of the projects I'm looking to turn in for this go around. Obviously, we won't get them all, but we'll see what we can get out of that. We're meeting Thursday with ODOT and Omega on the grant monies we received to upgrade some of our traffic signals. And so that'll kind of be the kickoff for that, to get that going. And then Engineering Associates has completed that initial survey for the 8th and 9th Street water project. So that's kind of the stuff we're working on right now, unless you guys got some questions.
Any questions?
Max, our new sign at the end of White Woman Street is hanging by a thread. So the guys are out there, might want to take a look at that.
Thanks, Roger.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I have a question. I have a residence of the Minland Mobile Home Park. They don't have the recycle bins on wheels. Is there a reason they don't have them, or can they get one?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, Chad. I'll have to find out. I assume they have them.
I don't think any of them have them down there.
Is that the one behind the high rise there? Is that Midland? Okay. I'll get with the water department tomorrow and find out, but I thought they all had the recycle bins.
No, I don't think so. They just got the little ones.
Okay.
All right,
I'll
thank
find
you.
out for you. Yep.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
We'll move to Sherry, the auditor.
Good evening. I actually don't have any reports tonight, so you're getting off easy with me.
Okay. That was quick.
Yeah, unless anybody has any questions about anything.
Questions? Okay. Sherry? You have anything, clerk?
I don't have anything for this meeting.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
All righty. We're going to move into the committees. And just before I do that, I want to let everyone know I'd like to make a nomination tonight in full council for President Pro Tem. You know, Jackie was that for a long term. And I've asked Kayla Andrews, Councilwoman Andrews, to serve in that capacity. So I will be making a nomination and council will vote tonight. Any questions? All right. Finance Committee.
Nothing that I know of.
Ordinance Committee.
Just what's on our agenda for tonight? I guess my only question is the demolition ordinance. Is that something we want to go 3 readings on, or is that something we need to get done in emergency?
Mr. Mayor,
Anyone? Max says 3. Okay,
three reading. And that's on the demolition?
yes, it'd be 421.
Okay. Any objection? All right, thank you. Infrastructure Committee. Grants and Economic Development Committee. Nothing. Housing and Property Maintenance Committee.
No.
Right. Safety Services Committee.
All right, now I did look into this blue line for Glenn's been talking about it. I sent Glenn and yourself, Cliff, a email on I think some states it's illegal to put a blue line down the middle of any street, but some communities are just bucking the system. And, you know, now people were filing lawsuits, and I mean, I think we have time to maybe look somewhere else, or maybe blue lights, or, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of looking for something else, I guess.
Chad, is there anybody local that's done this that we could talk to around surrounding area?
There's a few. I mean, I suppose I can call them and, Bob.
I guarantee it's against the administrative code, and we probably will, if somebody were to use it, we would
Right.
probably not be able to enforce traffic codes on that particular part of the roadway. Sorry about my dog. I would suggest maybe you look at the sidewalk in front of the sheriff's department and perhaps do some type of painting there to symbolize our support.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have time. I think winter's here for another month or two. And, I think we can kick some things around. Some people can give some other ideas and, I think I would like to show my support for the police but I think we can do it a different way than without breaking the law.
Absolutely. So Chad, you're gonna go ahead and lead that charge and
Yeah.
those who'd like to get involved, see Chad, and I think it's a grand idea to do something to recognize.
Cliff,
Top myself.
couple articles I read on it. Wapakoneta, Ohio painted the blue lines and had no public pushback at all. But then there was a couple of areas in New Jersey that did the same thing, and there were lawsuits filed, and they had a lot of complaints about it. So I think it's something we need. Bob can tell us if he tells us it's not legal, then we need to come up with a different direction. But I'm with Chad as far as that safety committee. I think we can do something to praise our police department or honor them in some way. Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to do something, but also be mindful of not, creating a divide within our community. Like, we don't want that either as well. So I think we need to be mindful of both sides and just, and show support for really everybody in our community. So
I would agree, nonpartisan is something that everybody can appreciate. The thing.
I read the other things that Chad attached and included. If we do such a thing, I think include the fire department with red curbs or red something.
Well, that can be discussed. I mean, that's something you want to throw in there. If you want to have a.
When the time comes.
That'd be fine to do that. Okay. Well, good idea. Thank you.
Just so you guys know, we did receive a kind of an opposition email to the blue line that was being discussed.
Okay.
Kind of what Kaylee was saying. What's good for one group's good for another is not good for another group, and so it could cause some division just based on some response that we got from the community.
Well, we can be sensitive to that. But one thing I've learned in my time is you can't please all the people all the time. But yeah, we do need to look at it in such a way to where it's not going to be offensive. And it makes a general statement of support is what we're trying to look for. So we'll let the safety committee come up and bring something to us, and let's keep moving on that. I think it's a good idea to do something for that. I think it'd be great. Thank you. Parks and Recreation Committee.
No.
Insurance Committee. The Rules Committee.
No, sir.
All right.
While we're talking about committees, Cliff, I might have missed something, but where do we stand on reassigning Jackie's positions and getting Tom into positions?
We're standing in the same place we were last time. I will deal with that. We are going to nominate Ms. Andrews for President Pro Tem.
Okay.
We'll vote on that.
So right now, Tom will just take each of Jackie's positions?
I think for the time being, that's what we've always done until we can come up with a new slate.
Okay,
That's coming up. So for the rest of the year, I think that would be appropriate
thank you.
to do that. Anyone else?
I have a question. I was kind of busy. Did the Ordinance Committee approve putting the BZA and Planning Commission on the next meeting's agenda?
Ordinance Committee?
I'm not opposed to that. I don't know if anyone else on the committee would be. Glenn and Michelle.
I haven't been consulted on it. I can't reply.
Okay, and then Jeff, did you speak about the ordinance you're asking for?
No, I did not.
All right, Jeff.
You'll
Yeah.
you'll be getting an ordinance next time that we're wanting to turn those 4 properties over that I spoke about 2 weeks ago. We have 4 city lots we've been maintaining. And as you know, as you may or may not be aware, the city's not in a position to sell those lots. We have to let them go by bid. So I think the prudent thing for the city to do is turn those lots over to the land revitalization or the land bank and let them sell them and get those back in the hands of somebody paying taxes. So in talking with Bob, there'll need to be an ordinance passed to turn those over to the land bank. So I have all the information prepared and sent it to Cherry today. So you'll be seeing that on your next agenda probably.
Any questions for Mr. Corder?
Cliff, I'm going to go back just a second on that, the zoning ordinance. I know Mark or Cherry sent us out a email that included a message from Mark and the recension of the one ordinance and the amended other ordinance. So I think everyone, from what I look at on the email, everyone should have received those, Glenn. So might want to take a look.
Okay, thank you.
It was called Committee Discussion was the title of the email, and it was from Cherry last Friday.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Jeff, you have anything else? Thank you.
I don't know.
Hey, Roger, that's kind of a new way we're gonna do things, like just give, send out the info and then say, hey, here's the idea, here's, what's going on. That way, nobody feels like anything's getting dumped in their lap. That way we can talk about them during committee, kind of a pre-talk and then a talk and then go from there. So just wanted to let you know that's kind of new on our end. Just, I guess that whole year I got underneath my belt prepared me for this year, I guess.
I appreciate the heads up.
That's a good move, Mr. Mayor. Anyone else? Okay. Well, again, we'll nominate Ms. Andrews for President Pro Tem and take a vote. Probably do that right after the pledge here in that area. Or we may do it under new business. So I'll probably do it under new business. Anything else? Well, I have adjust my glasses, 6:26. If we don't have anything further, I'll see you back here on Zoom at 7 p.m. Thank you very much. Bob, did I miss calling you tonight at committee? Law Director?
No, typically you don't call on me at committee meeting. If I have something to say, I usually speak
Okay.
up. So.
I know you talked a couple times. I was wondering if I called on you or not. Thank you. Looks like everybody's raring to go. Missing Chad. There he is. Hey, there at the bottom. All right.
Are you,
Cliff,
Yes, sir.
we did get I guess, a message on Facebook Messenger the mayor's going to address during open session, so.
Okay. During your report, Mr. Mayor, you want to open that? All right.
real quick, Tom Barcroft, I just forwarded you the sheriff's reports. He said he didn't have your address. I sent it this morning, but he must not have received it.
Yeah, I got with him today on that.
Oh, okay, good deal.
Folks ready? I have 7 p.m. Good evening. Today's date is February 22nd, 2021. It is 7 p.m. regular council meeting. And good to have all of our Zoom viewers, those of you that are checking us out via Zoom. Good to have you this evening. I'm going to ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Gross.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Salmons.
Oops.
Oops, sorry, Barcroft.
Here,
Andrews.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Turner.
Here.
Mishler.
Here.
Councilman Barcroft will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you please stand?
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor standing, Mr. Gross will lead us in the invocation.
Father God, we again thank you for this opportunity to serve our city in this capacity. Guide and direct each one of us tonight. We pray this in your name. Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. Council should have received minutes dated February the 8th, 2021. Are there any additions or discussion, corrections, deletions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mishler, I move that we accept them as submitted.
Move to accept as submitted. Is there a second?
Barcroft, second.
Mr. Barcroft, second. Any other discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
Those minutes are accepted. Thank you. Mr. Mayor, you can do it at your report or you can do it at public input if you want to address it there. First, let me just ask, is there any other public input that came in after a few minutes ago? Okay, then, Mr. Mayor, you want to address it here or during your report?
No, I can address it now. Do you want to read it off, Max? What you received?
Sure. Mayor, can you give any clarification concerning your message about the old public library as to your plans for this building?
Well, if all my dreams come true, I must say after 43 years of being in Coshocton, Ohio, I stepped foot in the 1000th Carnegie Library. And it was an experience, driving by there, being 43 and never being in there. It was kind of surreal to actually enter that building. It definitely needs work. I have talked to the family's attorneys, and my plans are that the city not take possession of it, but ultimately that our town receives the building and makes it a little miniature history museum for the city of Coshocton, and including specialty advertising, our industrial, our mining history. And if all goes well, nothing's riding on my shoulders here, but I will do my best I would love to see that building return to the community. And like with everything else, we can't dwell on the past. We really must look for the future. And I really am. I tell people I don't get excited until I know something's definitely going to happen. And at this point, I'm not excited, but I will push as hard as I can to make sure something is done with that building before a wrecking ball hits it. So I think it holds a lot of our history. The older generation, remembers it as a library. We actually dug some blueprints out the other day that Cherry knew about, that actually City Hall was going to be in that building. In the late 70s, there was actually renderings drawn, and it was kind of cool to also have access to those. But I definitely want to see the building is fallen into disrepair. There is work to be done, but I truly believe with the community support, like I said, first, it's the family who owns the building support to make sure it gets into someone else's hands, which I'm trying to make that happen. And then, with that said, I think the community, I posted on Facebook and saw a lot of excitement around it. And I hope my words on paper resonate with the owners of the building. And also Lanny Spalding's plan of making something happen with that building as well was sent to the owners of the building. And I look forward to a positive outcome. So it'll be one of my bigger achievements probably as mayor, when you see a building that sat for 4 decades and something's going to happen with it. But like I said, I'm not going to get excited till Lanny's in there smiling and not falling through the floors. So that's kind of where that stands right now. Cliff, do you want me to just go ahead with my report as well right now?
Yes, sir, you can go ahead and continue.
Okay. So that's where the library stands. I wanted to give an update on the water, the utilities office online bill payment system. Within 10 days, we've had 50 customers utilize the system. That's basically with no advertisement other than word of mouth and us talking about it a couple weeks ago. Everyone will receive a insert in March's billing that explains how to get online. If people want to get online now, there's 2 links on cityofcoshocton.com, and people are able to utilize that system. Myself, I've text to pay, so I just hit a button and it takes me right to where I need to go. Reminds me that I'm due. And just wanted to remind people as well to please pay your water bill. So it could be one less thing that we have to worry about here at City Hall. Just comes down to doing the right thing and just making that payment support your local community. So we look forward to your support. The last but certainly not least, wanted to address February is Black History Month. Proud of the work that the Coshoctonians for Peace and Equality Giovanna Ramsey and Lucy Malinky are doing on that front. Actually had a conversation last week with Giovanna here in my office and look forward to good things coming out of their organization downtown. Hopefully we're through COVID and downtown we can have something. She's planned something for Juneteenth. And just want to remind people, you know, we can't rewrite history, but we can together forge our future past together as one. Sitting in my seat, I feel prejudiced a lot of times where people don't know me. They have their own thoughts or they listen to, you know, to some other person tell them who I am. I'm not saying that, you know, it's bad things against me, but I know how it feels, and I don't see why we would take anything or use anything against anyone to figure out who they are. So I don't know. I could have probably said that more eloquently, but you know me, and I'm not very eloquent. So just want to let people know, love each other, love your neighbor. I would love to have nothing but a diversified community. We've been vanilla for a lot of years, so I welcome anyone coming here. You know, if you're productive and you want to do something, I don't care who you are, the invitation's there, and I want to invite everyone to Coshocton and forge a new path together as a community. So thank you. If there's any questions, I'll answer them now.
Any questions for the mayor? Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Are there
Thank you.
any standing committee reports? If there are none, before we move any further, I'd like to make a nomination this evening. You know, we lost Jackie. She's in sunny Arizona somewhere, and hopefully she's going to have a good time and a good rest of her life. We really appreciated her service to Coshocton. But she served for many, many years as president pro tem. So I'm going to nominate Kaylee Andrews, a new council person, and I'd like to nominate her in the position as president pro tem. Is there any discussion from the council? There is none. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Mishler.
I'll second.
Who second? Mr. Moore?
I will. Yes.
Mr. Moore second. All right. If there is no further comments, clerk, please call the roll.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Andrews,
Abstain.
Moore,
Wrong, yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
I think that's unanimous, right, Ms. Clerk?
Yes.
All right, then it's unanimous. You have been voted in as president pro tem. Congratulations. The clerk will get you all the necessary tools that you need to carry out that duty in my absence. And welcome aboard and welcome to the Fellowship of Suffering. All right.
Congratulations, Kaylee.
Thank you, Kaylee. Congratulations very much. This is unusual, but do you have anything to say, Kaylee?
No, I appreciate the honor, and I actually thought I was going to be doing something tonight, so I have this whole script typed up and ready to go, and didn't have to do anything.
All right. Very good. Be always ready. I read that.
But now I'm ready. I'm ready for
Oh,
the
yeah.
next time.
Well, very good. Thank you, Kelly, for stepping forward. Appreciate that. City Service and Safety Director's report.
I don't have a lot to add, Cliff, from what we discussed in committee. Do want to thank the residents for their patience over the last week or so with all the snow and ice we've had. It's been pretty taxing on our 7 or 8 people that take care of all of our city streets, but we made it through. And from the weather reports going forward, it sounds like we are going to see a big melt off. So we're very thankful for that. So unless you guys have any questions.
Any questions for Service Director?
Max, I noticed one of the salt trucks, really pretty rusty. Is it in line for repair or replacement or?
Well, there's one that's our oldest one, Glenn, and we've actually just purchased a new one. We won't have the bed for it until after snow season, but we've switched out all those mild steel beds with stainless steel beds. So we're getting a lot more life out of the stainless steel, obviously, than they got out of the mild steel. It's a little more costly, but I think from a life expectancy standpoint, we're much better off going that direction.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? Thank you for your report. The law director's report.
I have nothing tonight other than my monthly report, which should have been submitted to you unless there's questions.
Any questions for the law director? Thank you. We'll take the sheriff's report.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome.
Hello, council and Mr. Mayor and Service Director. I would like to echo our Service Director's comment about our community taking heed to the snow levels, as we did have a very good or very low incident report for the last week. Actually, this morning we received more phone calls than we have probably for the last week. And as far as crashes, that rain really made the roads icy. Per Councilman Gross's request, I submitted the code stats. I hope everyone found those to be understandable. And I also included a new roster, and that is a fluent revolving roster for the sheriff's office, as we do have more postings going up. The names on that roster will change probably for the next month and a half anyway. So if anyone has any questions, I really don't have anything else to report on.
Any questions for the sheriff?
Thank you for the report, Sheriff. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Thank you, Sheriff, for that report. Appreciate it. The auditor's report.
Good evening. I don't have a report tonight, but I would ask that ordinance 621 for the appropriations be passed emergency tonight. And if you have any questions on it, I can answer those.
Any questions for the audience? Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Property code inspector report.
I have no further report other than what we talked about in committee. Anybody has any questions, I'll certainly try to answer them.
Any questions for the code inspector?
Jeff, I sent you a picture. I didn't put an address with it. It's 430 8th Street, South 8th. The car up on the curb.
Okay, I will pass that along and see if maybe the sheriff can have somebody take a look at that for us.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, thank you very much for that. Madam Clerk, do we have any other reports submitted?
No.
All righty. We'll move into legislation then. There's the first reading. First reading is 4-21. I'd ask the clerk to read 4-21 first reading.
An ordinance to amend the City of Coshocton Codified Ordinance 1311.03 demolition permit.
You've heard the first reading of 4-21. Are there any questions or input?
I make a motion, we suspend the rules and give it a second reading.
Move to suspend. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Michelle?
Yep.
All right. Anything further? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Harcroft,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
I would ask the clerk to give a second reading before 4-21.
An ordinance to amend the City of Coshocton Codified Ordinance 1311.03 demolition permit.
You've heard the second reading of 4-21. Any questions or discussion?
We're gonna pass this. You want this passed tonight, Max?
Is this to pass emergency?
It's up to you guys. I didn't really think either one needed to be emergency passage, but it's whatever you guys want to, your desire is. We haven't heard any negative feedback or anything on either one of them, so.
All right, we've heard the second reading.
I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules and give 421 a third reading.
Been moved, and if there be a second reading, there's a second on
I'll second it.
it. Mr. Johnson gives a second. Anything further? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
I would ask the clerk to give us third reading of 4-21.
An ordinance to amend the City of Coshocton Codified Ordinance 1311.03 demolition permit.
You've heard the third reading of 4-21. Are there questions or discussion? Being none, the question is, should you pass this ordinance? Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
4-21 is adopted. Thank you. First reading, 5-21. I'd ask the clerk to read first reading, 5-21.
An ordinance to amend the City of Coshocton Codified Ordinance 731 taxi cabs.
I believe this ordinance will take its course. We've had the first reading. First reading, I'd ask the clerk to read first reading, 6-21.
Appropriations.
You've heard the first reading of 4-6-21, I'm sorry. Are there any questions or discussion?
Make a motion to suspend the rules and go to second reading.
Move to suspend. Is there a second?
Gross, second.
Gross, Mr. Gross, second.
Yes.
Anything further? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
I would ask the clerk to give a second reading to 6-21.
Appropriations.
For the second reading of 6-21, any questions or discussion? Mr. Johnson,
I guess I'll make a motion to suspend the rules and go to a third reading.
move to suspend. Is there a second?
Barkoff, second.
Mr. Barkoff seconds. Anything further? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
I would ask the clerk to give a third reading to 6-21, please.
Appropriations.
You've heard the third reading of 6-21. Are there any questions or discussion? Being none, the question is, should you pass this ordinance? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
6-21 is adopted. Thank you. There are no second readings, the third readings, no resolutions. Is there any old business? Is there any new business? No new business? Any communications from the administration? Any communications from council? Any communications from the clerk?
Yes, I received a notice from the Ohio Division of Liquor Control asking if we want to have a hearing regarding Huck's Tavern on North White Woman Street obtaining a liquor license.
What's the pleasure of council?
No. Good luck to them.
All right.
Yes.
You get that, Madam Clerk?
I did, thank you. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. There's no further communications. We're down to the last thing on our agenda, and that is for adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Mishler.
So moved.
Mr. Mishler, who seconds?
Roger.
Do I have a second?
CJ, Chad.
Mr. Johnson gives a second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
Madam Clerk,
Next,
when is our next meeting?
March the 8th.
March 8th. We will see
Yes.
you all here nice and happy in March the 8th. And we'll
Yes.
have our next regular committee meeting as well as council meeting. Thank you all so very much, and thank our listeners and those of you in tonight. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good evening. Be safe going home.